So what I said, go on my YouTube channel, that's my story. If you watch my philosophies, if you see my videos, you'll get a real in-depth understanding of who I am, what my philosophies are, and why I love what I do. So, hands up in the room when you first came today if you was in the mood to come here. Don't lie to me, tell me the truth, put your hands up. If you was in the mood to come today, when you woke up, you were like, oh, I don't know if I want to go to talk. You didn't want to come? Hands up if you didn't want to come, was going to change your mind, wasn't in the mood. You?
I wasn't in the mood.
I like honesty. Some of you are not being honest in here. Put your hands up. You want to come? Okay. When I first wake up in the morning, I don't want to talk to anyone. Not because I'm antisocial, not because I'm a bad person, but I'm not usually in this right state. I teach 7 days a week. I obviously have a dating life with women. Life stresses, life pleasures. So I'm not in the mood to do anything, and I don't eat breakfast in the morning, so I'm a bit cranky. But I know how to manipulate my state, because I've been working with human psychology for 2.5 years. I mean, actually 10 years I've been doing it on the street talking to women. So I learned how to change my mood from really bad to really good. Or sometimes if I'm too high, I know how to come down. So why is this relevant to attracting women? Why is it relevant to perhaps starting a business, socializing with people, making a good impression on people, you know, just feeling more socially confident and comfortable? State is everything, your emotional state. Now we could beg to differ, we could argue techniques, we could argue philosophies, we could say being more direct works, being more indirect works, being more sexual works. Okay, we could do that all day. One thing we can argue on is our emotional state, how we feel, what we think, why we think the thoughts we do, and how we behave according to those. So, for the next hour and a half, I'm going to be explaining why state is so effective. It makes me get results with women, it helps me teach guys how to meet women, and it helps me to constantly, I don't know, become more positive and make that shift from waking up in the morning, not feeling like going to work, or not feeling like going on a date or approaching women or doing anything, to being like, boom, fuck, I'm on it, I want to do this, I'm interested, I'm enthusiastic. So, before I start, I'm going to get you all to introduce yourselves to each other, loosen you up, get you in state, do a couple of shouts, not too loud, or wake them up downstairs, just to change your state, to show you how powerful it is that I know what I'm talking about. Grab a seat, mate. If you're late, it doesn't matter, glad you're here. So, you can probably see now before I'm talking, I'm not in the mood that much, but I'm going to get into state. Watch me in 10-15 minutes, watch how enthusiastic I am, watch all of my knowledge come, watch me really give you guys some good stuff. So, introduce yourself next to each other, just say hello, you know, ask anything. Silence! See, I got you all in state. I did that in seconds. That's the same technique I used to get women to bed. That was kind of a joke, really, guys laugh. So, just by making you do something very small and incremental and very non-threatening, something that you wouldn't even think about, it wouldn't even trouble you. Yeah, I'm just going to introduce myself, there's nothing wrong with that. I changed your emotional state. I changed you from feeling perhaps a bit in your head, maybe a bit unsure, maybe a bit tired, like, oh, now you're like, boom, I've got you. I can see all of you. Eye contact. I got you all with me. Now don't worry, it's not any spells, it's not like I'm not a witch doctor or something like that, but it's just, it's common sense, but it's not common practice. So the stuff I'm going to talk about today, either you know it, you don't do it, or you're not aware of it. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to kind of talk about the general newbie. So please don't get offended, because I'm just stressing a point, because I used to be a newbie, I used to be very in my head. I was really, I don't know if it's fair to say I was a negative person, but I was going through a bad time, depressed, I couldn't get laid, I couldn't meet women. I didn't know who I was, just very frustrated. So, this is the general type of newbie, this is the world that he lives in. Frustration, over-analysing things, so in social situations, seeing things that probably don't even exist, or creating things that don't exist. So for example, might go to a party, there's girls around, people are partying, but he's thinking, shit, people watching me? People are concerned what I'm doing, and he's kind of in his head thinking, everyone else is fine, but I'm the only one who's got problems. And then the girl might pass by, look at him, he thinks, shit, what's she thinking? Something on my face, something wrong with me. So this is the real deep psychology. This is where it started for me, and this is how I was able to change that. This is not being arrogant, but now I think every girl fancies me. I think every girl, that's probably not true obviously, but I'm a lot more positive and I've got a lot more reference points, so stay with me guys. So, state is really the way you view the world, the way you view yourself, and how you interact with others. And what I like about state is, if I'm with someone who's negative, I mean I get negative sometimes, how can I say it? I'm very good at getting them into state, because it's the same with women. So when you're talking to a girl, as well as getting yourself into state, you have to learn how to transfer that energy onto the girl, because girls need to get into state as well. If any of you, grab a seat mate, if any of you have ever been out before, or for example you've been at a party, or you've been on the street and you stopped a girl, and she might say, no, I'm in a rush, I've got to go, and she's a bit agitated. But then you might make a joke, and then she laughs, and then you hook her there, and she changes. And you think, fucking hell, how did that happen? She wasn't interested, now she's interested. And you can go other ways, she can be really interested, and then very disinterested. Because her emotional state as well, women obviously, same as us. So, when you understand how to get yourself into state, you know how to transfer that onto girls, it's so effective. So I'm going to start with the number one mistake all newbies make when they're trying to go out and meet girls. Number one thing is they don't know how to get into state, and they might do one approach and it doesn't work out, and that affects them the whole day and they quit. Or they do one approach, it doesn't work out. When they go into the next approach, they carry that energy, they carry that mood, and they almost feel like, because she said no, this one's probably going to say no. And she will say no, because you've decided that when you go up to talk to her, she can feel your state. It's very apparent. And then your eye contact, your smile, your voice tone, your lines they just don't flow naturally. So the girl feels it, and then you kind of rationalise it and go, yes, the girl doesn't like me, she said no, she said no, she said no, she said no. Put your hands up if any of you resonate with that. Wow. So, I put so much stuff out on YouTube. Actually, I'll pretty much give my whole stuff away, all my philosophy for free. But it's interesting that, and good for me, I work with a lot of guys want to work with me, because I still need me to take them out, teach them the steps, teach them how to get into state. But anyone who's done a program with me or worked with me or knows my philosophies, I always lead people the tools so that when I'm not there, they can teach themselves how to get into state. Because, like I said, you can know all the techniques, you can know the philosophies, but if you don't know how to get yourself into state, maintain that, you're not going to get the full results. Other things people talk to me about, they say, well, Johnny, I don't really want to go out on the street, I don't want to do what you're doing and be crazy and go up and be a bit socially, out there and do stuff. I'm not saying you've got to do that. But you've got to remember, state's not just about getting into a positive state to get a girl's phone number. This goes right through to having sex, having a relationship, and knowing how to manage a woman's emotions. Believe me, if you've had a relationship with a woman, you know all about that, because they're not easy. So, the metaphor is, first of all, just to get positive. So that's why I got you guys just to shake each other's hands, just to loosen yourself up. That's why if I'm taking a student out, I'll say, and it's so easy, and sometimes I think, it's like I'm insulting them in the sense that it's so ridiculously easy, but it works. I'll say, as the girl's walking by, just wave and say hello and smile, and then he'll walk and just go, hi, and the girl will smile and go, hi, and then I'll say, and he'll say, ah, she smiled, and I say, do you see that? That was a simple exercise. You don't have to try and get a phone number, you don't have to have a conversation, you don't have to get laid straight away, but just saying hi, it just shifts you into that place. So, once you learn the simple steps like saying hello to a girl, a few girls walking by, saying hi, you start realising at a high level, it's actually no different to having a conversation, getting a number and getting laid. Now stay with me, because some of you might just be coming into this thinking, what's he talking about? I know what I'm talking about. 9 years experience, teaching this for 2.5, so listen carefully. So, I said this to shoot the other day, I explained to him, because he was complimenting and he was asking about conversation. I said, listen, you want to teach you conversation, you want to teach you how to get numbers, how to get on dates, how to get laid, but I said, you have to understand something. If you can't master the first simple step, how do you expect me to teach you the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th? So just like Bruce Lee said when he was training for Jeet Kune Do, I think his instructor wanted to move him up to different levels. Bruce Lee said, no, I just want to practice my kick for a week. 3,000 kicks a day, I think he did. And his actual teacher was inspired. He said, fuck, I've never had a student that actually wants to train on one thing, just the fundamentals. So state, again, for me, is really learning to master the fundamentals. Once you master that, the same principles are transferred into the more complicated stuff. So, example, you learn how to build up your momentum on the street or in bars, you talk to a few girls, you give a few compliments, you come out, and then you run over to one, you might get a phone number. That's great, that's brilliant. And then you go on a date with a girl, for example, maybe you try and kiss her, and maybe she doesn't want to kiss you, maybe she refuses. She gives you a logical objection, which a lot of girls will do this to test you. Especially if you're meeting girls from cold approach. They're very attracted by it, but sometimes they're very freaked out by it because you need to build a bit more comfort with them because most guys obviously don't do it in this way. So if you show her that you're affected, it ruins it, it kills it. So a girl that potentially you could slept or dated goes from liking you to not liking you because you show that you've been affected by something as her saying, I want to kiss you. Now I know most guys think that's a big deal, but most girls that I go on dates with, a lot of times they refuse to kiss me to start with. Some of them try and refuse to sleep with me. But of course, because I know my way around this and how to communicate with women, I know how to enhance my state. It doesn't affect me. When I say it doesn't affect me, I'm not superhuman. Of course I've got feelings, but it doesn't affect me enough to throw me off my game, so to speak. So my point is, this whole me going out on the street and teaching you guys how to get into state of women and run up and be a bit funny, that's just my medium. This is for me as a metaphor on how to live a better life. If you're in business, if you're doing sports, even if you're working on a computer, whatever your passion is, whatever your medium is, whatever your hobby is, you have to kind of know how to perform it the best way you can, at the highest sort of way. I was just watching the England game downstairs, actually, the highlights, and Steven Gerrard was saying that before they got out to the match, he listened to his favourite song. I can't remember the song, it doesn't really matter at this point, but he was basically saying that the song gets him in state. He said the song gets me geared up in the mood. And all that meant was, it's the same thing as getting into state. Again, it's just the way we language it, because us guys that are into pickup, we probably understand this language in a state. But if you don't understand what state means, it means getting into a positive mood so you can perform much better. And I always say, if you give me two complete newbies, one is very technical, but one is very happy and positive and just doesn't give a shit, just goes over to talk to girls, he spreads up. I can work with him probably better, you get better results. Because the guy who's too technical and analytical and over-analysing things, missing the point. So he's going up to a girl in a grocery store on the street and he's thinking of the techniques, what to say, but as he's thinking and stressing about these things, he's not smiling, he's not giving off the vibration. So really speaking, he's at a loss before he even goes and approaches. That's not to say that you shouldn't have some strategy when you start. Like obviously you've got to think, you want to go over, you want to have good body language, but in a sense, when you learn how to build your state, you can contradict all of the techniques. And again, it's not being arrogant. That's why if you see my stuff on YouTube, it's quite different to a lot of other people's stuff, because sometimes I look really, really blame. I might look at someone and say, you're very socially awkward. It doesn't matter, but my state's good. My state's very good, and I'm very congruent. Again, congruency is a line of state, confidence, etc. So when I go up to the girl, I may not be saying the most articulate words or the best stories, but my state's very good. So it's like a force field around you of positive energy, and when you come into it, the person feels that. But if I've got a negative energy around me, and I walk up to you and I say, excuse me, you look nice, where are you from? The girl will feel that, and get away. Do you understand? So that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to stop for a second, because I like to break things up. Anyone want to ask me any questions on state or what I just talked about? Because some of you might want to ask me something, so go ahead, any questions?
My question is like, when you stopping girls and trying to talk to them, like, have you ever been stopped by police or anything? Like, what are you doing to distract them?
Yeah, I got stopped by the police 3 days ago. It's funny you said that.
What to do?
Just social skills. It's not illegal. He was actually very nice. So just be calm. Again, it's what you said. It's my state, isn't it? Because if I got stopped by the police, I could easily go, "Oh, have you done anything?" I start panicking. Nice and calm. I just said, "How's your day?" He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm talking to girls. Is it legal?" He said, "No, it's fine." How can I say? I said, "I want to show you." He said, "No," he started laughing. He said, "It's fine." So I think, aligning on what you said, the states, like when people, I get asked all the time, "Well, Johnny, what is confidence? What is be yourself? Like, what is being natural?" All these words, I know what they mean, but how do I become this? How do I become confident? Well, state. Everything, my whole foundation, my whole philosophy I teach comes from state. So it's not a secret. It's not like I've got a secret method locked up. I'm not sharing it, or some people say, "What are you teaching me? Do you do this?" Everything I teach my students, I do myself. It's a daily practice. So actually, I missed out this morning. I was naughty because I was going to be running late, so I didn't get to say hello. But I always do it. I'm always playing with it. I'm always out on the field, just playing around, saying hi. It's not every girl I see I want to sleep with. And again, I think that's a very, very, very bad mindset to come from. Because if you're like, "I'll only talk to a girl if she gives me her phone number," that's a terrible mindset. So That's an awful mindset. You won't get laid being like that, especially if you're starting not to get on a date or connect with a girl, because you're not offering any value. Your mindset's wrong. So if you're like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to be sociable, but let me just get into state, let me just see how I feel and get into my mood. So it's so important, and the more I go into to learn this, what I find is the better I get at a game, the more I connect myself, the more I lose technique. Yeah, you might watch me and say, oh, he's doing this, or he's saying that because she said that. I'm not thinking that, but what I find is my state's getting better. It's getting better and better every day from practicing. And I see it with my students. If I've taken on a new student, the first half an hour, if he's completely new, it's never as good as the hour or the hour and a half in, because his state gets better. Whether he realises it or not, whether I tell him, you know you're getting into state, he may put it down to, obviously I'm a good coach, my teaching, the way I strategize, this, do this, but what's happening really is, he's coming into himself. And that's when I talk about stuff like finding your own frequency, finding your congruence. So, of course, when I first wake up, same as you guys, yes, I am myself. I don't wake up someone else. Who's this guy? But I have to find my frequency, and the way I do that is getting into state. So, because I'm a person, I like action, I like talking too much, I like doing talks and sharing stuff. I will ask some of you to come up so I can demonstrate some stuff. It will help me articulate what state is, how it looks. But basically, if you want the essence of state, simplicity. Just like in Zen Buddhism, simplicity. That's what really helps you to get into state. And because a lot of guys will say, well, what do? Do I go up to a group? Do I wait till she's walking? Do I not approach her with a boyfriend? It's getting more and more complicated. Basically, you just get the fuck out of your house, get in a positive mood. It doesn't even matter. I mean, I'd even prefer you to say hello to a guy. Obviously, don't get his number and be funny. It's up to you, freedoms, you know. But I'd rather you just go, hi, how's your day? Just to get from that, just to get from here to here. So look at me now, I'm in state now. So I got warmed up, I'm talking to you guys. I feel very congruent. I feel like everything's coming to me now. What I'm going to say is going to be good value, it's going to help you guys, and I'm really in fucking mood. I'm in state. You see it, you feel it, you can feel my energy. You see my communication, my voice tone, the way I'm communicating, my eye contact. Boom, I've got presence. If I go on the street now and I go up to a girl and I say, excuse me, where's Starbucks? She'll feel that. Then she'll feel that. So a lot of people see my stuff on YouTube and they say, why does he say sorry? Why is he saying sorry? It's very needy, it's not alpha, it's weak. It's just rubbish because people don't understand, they've not done this long enough or they've not had enough experience. And when you've had thousands of rejections like me, you understand why things work and why things don't work. And then there's also obviously grey area. There's always going to be grey area in everything. In any method, any philosophy, there's always going to be stuff that can't be explained. And I think that's actually beautiful, that's nice, that's the mystery of the universe. But it's really state. And again, if someone said to me, well, you know, if you was in state and you said really stupid stuff, you know, would that work? Probably would work. Probably would work. So what I said to a student the other day, before I teach you technique, I'm going to teach you how to get into state. Because when you're in state, any technique I give you is going to be much more effective backed by state. Because state is your foundation, state is your energy, it's your mood. So whatever you add on that is deadly. And if any of you members, I know some of you see me around, I'm always around Piccadilly. If I'm not teaching, I'm doing it. So I'm always out practicing my craft. You'll always see me around like buzzing. You'll always see me. Very rarely I think you'll see me like this. I used to be like that. I used to be like every day. I say 3 or 4 hours in my life because I was depressed. But you'll always see me around talking. You'll see me talking to some of you guys. I'll be talking to other coaches or guys who'll be walking around. So I love social. I love getting into that place. Yeah, I get days where I don't feel like talking to people, but I just go home, relax, have some food on the laptop. But generally speaking, I'm fascinated by enhancing our mood. So I want you guys to really think about this. If you've been going out, if you're not getting the results you want, or if you're getting results but you're like, it's a bit inconsistent, or if you just can't get started, think about state. Now sometimes when I talk, because I like stressing things, it's not a negative thing. This is fucking amazing. This is like a secret. This is something I uncovered, and I'm putting it out on YouTube as much as I can. And I find that the good thing with state is, it never gets boring. You know, like when you practice a technique for a while, it seems good at the start, and then after a while you squeeze out the juice, you get the essence from it, and it kind of feels like it doesn't work anymore, or you've got the most out of it. Can you relate to that? Makes sense? Hands up. Use the technique for a bit, and then you're like, oh, I'm done with that now, I need something a bit more stronger. I need a better one, I need a quicker way, you know, I need a faster way. But state, you can't really just say, yeah, I've learned state now, I don't need it anymore. No, to the day you die, you'll be using your state, your emotional state. And the more better place you get in, not to be critical or judgmental, far from perfect, but when you meet people that are negative, you'll see it, and you'll think, well, I used to be like that, and they'll just be negative, and they'll be in a bad state, and in fact, the state will get worse and worse, and you'll just be like, fucking hell, I can't take this no more, I've got to get out, and I've got to get around positive people. So state is really about getting in a good place. Now, I like when people criticise me and they challenge me, because it makes me stretch harder, work harder, come up with new stuff. Some people say to me, well Johnny, if I'm out on the train, how can I get in state on the train? I'm out, and I appreciate that, but there's the flip side. Once you learn how to get into state so much, you can actually, I'm going to contradict myself as I always do, you start approaching out of state. So I can be in a crap mood, a rubbish mood, and I can walk up to a girl, I can teach you guys to do the same, and go over and, just screw it up. But this sounds crazy, because this is how my brain works, and I've seen the students who get good at this. Just going over and getting rejected will get me into state. So I'm out of state, but when I go over out of state, and I get rejected, I'm back in state. Because I get the buzz off the doing, not the fucking talking, because everyone can talk and go on forums and talk rubbish about who's doing this, who's doing that, but actually doing it. How many guys you know in your social circle that are really doing it, like Mike says, that was cheesy, but it came up. How many are really doing it? Because everyone, when I first got into this, I was like, same as you guys. I was frustrated, I was like, I don't want bullshit, I want to know what works, what gets results, what transforms me, and it was action. Actions speak louder than words. From the actual practicality, you'll get the realization. You'll get the realization. Now, some of you think, oh, it's losing me a bit, realization, all this stuff, it sounds a bit spiritual. It is spiritual. The longer you do it, the more you'll realize that the lines don't matter too much. Don't get me wrong, you have to have some conversation in you. You need to learn social skills. But once you learn all those, do this, do that, do this, all you've got left is your state. So what happens is when you first start learning, you're just going through I call it, you start off a verbal game. So everything's verbal, you're just talking your way in. You're trying to talk your way into a woman's knickers, or get on a date, or get a number. You're talking, you're saying, I am this guy, believe me, I am this guy. Where are you from? You're really, and that's fine, because that's how I started, that's how everyone starts. Once you master that, you start almost, you energize your way in. So just to stress a point, you energize your way into a knickers, and to dating, and to potentially having a girlfriend, because you know how to enhance your state onto hers. And for example, when guys say stuff like, oh, she was shit testing me, what do I do? Or when she's throwing that stuff of energy off you, let's say for example it's aggressive energy, right? Or it's sexual, she's saying, oh, why did you stop me on the street? Or how many girls' numbers have you got? And all you're doing is going, you've got this shield around you, this strong, positive, masculine, authentic, whatever you want to call it, and it's just bouncing off. It's bouncing, going back. And then the positive stuff, it's going through. You feel it? I know it sounds mental, because if someone told me this when I first started, I'd probably walk out the room and say, he's crazy, he's lost it. But when you've been doing this as long as me, honestly, maybe you might even get this realization in a few months going now. I know some guys that have done a couple of days with me and gone, fuck, I know what you mean, I feel that, I feel in state, I can talk to anyone. And they're like, can I do it? Can I approach you? And they're running around, crazy. And that's getting into the state. And when people say to me, like, don't you ever get bored of this? Definitely not. Doesn't it get boring? Because it's so much fun. And I find, even if you said I don't want to get laid, I don't want to get numbers, I actually just want to use this as a way of making myself more positive. It's fantastic. So any of you got interviews coming up, any of you got jobs coming up, I would definitely advocate trying my state stuff, going out and giving a stranger 5 compliments. There is a human high to going up to a stranger and saying, you look amazing, or nice to meet you. Even if it's a guy, and I don't mean in a sexual way, because obviously I take it, we're all here for women, but even just saying, meeting someone new, like I was seeing a girl at her place yesterday, and she invited me around to her flatmates, and I was a bit tired, I when I first come in the room, I was like, I'm tired, shit, I've got a whole big room of people, I've never met them before. And I'm this confident guy, sometimes I want to be introverted, I just want to go in a room with her and have fun and go on a laptop. But I was like, oh fuck it, let me be sociable. But when I got in the room and just said hi, it was amazing. Like, everyone was saying hi to me, they were Spanish or Colombian, and I thought, this is amazing. I love being around this. I'm around energy, I'm around good people, and I thought, see, sometimes we deceive ourselves, most times we do. So at the start I was like, I don't really want to go in the room. 5 minutes later, I'm like, I want to stay with these guys all night. She was saying to me after, are you cool, do you want to come in the room with me? I said, no, I'm cool, I've got the game, I've got a beer in my hand, I'm doing the English thing. But, but it was nice, it was really nice. And my point is that we deceive ourselves. We can get in state. I don't tolerate that no more. When people write to me and say, John, I can't get in state, fucking bullshit, you're making excuses. You can get in state. You can get in state. You're not taking action. You're being too hard on yourself. You're being far too critical. You're over riddled with theory. I call it a theory snob. Someone who knows all the theory better than I do. They can criticise my stuff all day and say this. They can't go and say hello to someone in Starbucks. So again, It's not about criticising people, it's about me giving you guys the truth, what works, what's worked for me, what's worked for my students. And I want to share this with you, because trust me, once you start learning this, you're going to view, turn your phones off please guys, you're going to view talking to women very differently. You're not going to view it from an analytical point of view, you're going to view it from an emotional standpoint. Now, women are emotional, you guys know this. If you didn't know it, you better know it. They're not like men. We see a girl and we say, I want to shag her, I want to have sex with her. We do that, we can't lie, that's the reality, that's how we wind up. Women might see a guy and say, oh, he looks interesting. Yeah, some girls are going to think they want to have sex as well, but majority of the time, they need time. So, let me just jump ahead a little bit here, and bear with me guys, because some of you, if you're not at this stage, don't worry, you will be soon. In game, you start getting to a stage where you get on the dates. Again, it's all framework. You get to a stage where you're going out, you're approaching, you're getting over the fear. Then you get the numbers, then the numbers start flaking. Then some of the numbers go through, and then you get on a date, and you're on dates. And this is where you're like, shit, what do I do? Then you get better at the dates. You fail enough times to realise what you did wrong. Then you start getting into a good emotional state. And if you're smart and you take my advice, when you're going on the dates, you're running around being sociable before the date. So when she meets you, you're in that frequency, you're in that place, you're very positive. So she feels it. So it's almost like being in an attractive mode. Being out of state is being in unattractive mode. And what happens is, you know how to turn a woman on better. Because I'm going to be straight with you guys, and I'm never embarrassed to say this. When I first started, I didn't know how to turn a woman on. I didn't know, like, what do I do? Where do I touch her? Where do I start? And I used to have all sorts of troubles, like, I can't get an erection because I'm nervous. And again, it's still state. My state is a nervous state. It's anxiety, panic, fear, performance anxiety. Occasionally, I've said it before, you can use some herbal Viagra. But again, I'm not advocating that for young guys, but I'm just saying there's always something to help the solution. But what's better than herbal Viagra, which I've come to realise now, is a good state relaxing and getting in a sexual mood. Because someone said this the other week, it was interesting, the guy said, Johnny, you know what? He goes, sometimes I've had a girl back in my place, she's attractive, but I'm not in the mood to have sex with her. And I said, no, I can relate to that, but if you said to some other guys, they're like, well, how could you not be in the mood to have sex with an attractive girl? Sometimes you're not. You think you are, because you want to get laid, because it's a reference point, and obviously your ego, it's great to tell your mates. But sometimes you're tired. You've got to learn how to get into a sexual state. So you see how far I'm going with this now. So it's not just about getting in the state to run up, down that clown and get numbers. It's about knowing how to take the state for the whole seduction and manage a relationship, which is a completely entire different game. That's for another seminar. I'm not going to talk about relationships, even though I love them, they're great. So you'll learn how to make a girl feel comfortable, because you'll be aware of her emotions, because when you start using state, wanting it in your own, once you master your own, you can recognise other people's. You can see it. So you might be at an event, and you'll see people that are more vibrant and ones that are not. Doesn't mean anyone's better than each other, because no one is, everyone's equal, but you can just see where people are at. If I can see someone and I know where they're at, if I'm teaching, I know how to work with their psychology, I know how to manipulate their state, help them get their state up, I can teach them better then. So it's so important, and for me it was so exciting, because when I first started reading the theory, I didn't know about state. All I knew about was techniques, body language, routines. So if someone would have said to me, Johnny, just before you go out and read this, you want to have a look at this first. And I'm like, what's that? How to get into state, how to get into a positive mood before you use techniques. That would have got me a lot more results quicker. So now I'm going to go on to actually getting into state. I'm going to need some demonstrations. I hope you guys are kind of... Actually, we're filming this for YouTube, so if you come up, you're not happy to be on YouTube, we can edit your face out. But it would be great if some of you could come up so I can demonstrate on you and actually show you my techniques on how to get into state. So who wants to come up and help me out? Put your hands up. Thank you, mate. Come up. So give me a clap. People are really brave when they come up, because when you stand in front of a group of people, it's kind of strange. So, alright. So what I want to stress is, I do this in my seminars all the time, and it helps me to explain it better. So, this is something simple. This is something you can all do. And I guarantee, even when I show you, some of you are going to go out and do it, some of you are not. That's just human nature, but that's not my fault. I'm trying my best. So, if you stand over here, turn a little bit, just face this way. Right, I'm going to talk about train stations, because I like to go on something really hard. Now, a lot of people ask me, Johnny, how do I talk to girls in train stations? Because it's rush hour, people are stressed, people don't really communicate on the tube. Now, if you start off with what I call a framework, I've been doing this every day actually, it's been improving me, and soon I'm going to have some stuff on YouTube and showing you how to meet girls on the tubes. I'm working on this, I'm building my state, I'm getting into it, very soon it's coming, so I'm mastering it. So, alright, I'm coming out of the tube as an attractive girl, I'm nervous, there's people around, there's not much time, all I need to do is go by and say, you look nice, have a nice day, I'm out. That's simple, isn't it? Very simple. So look, I'll show you again. No tricks, no techniques, nothing manipulative, honest, direct. I'm going out through the ticket machine. I look very beautiful, have a nice day. And that gets me up. So I go from saying that, and when I get on the tube, sit down, I think, oh, I'm glad I've done that. I feel, even if it's 0.5 on the state scale, I feel that much bit better. Then when I go outside the train station, another girl will pass me, walk by. Oh, you look good. Draw a number. So that's another one. And again, guys, because some people get confused, you don't have to do it like me. I'm a different personality. We're all separate personalities. We all share the same common ground. We think the same. We're guys. Be yourself, please. Don't go out and try and be me. It wouldn't work. I tried to be other people when I started. I was 10 different people in one body. It didn't get me results. You've got to be congruent. I just want to throw that out because people say to me, well, I went out, Johnny, and I try to be like you and be extroverted because I'm an intro extrovert. I worked on this, so don't get fooled. So please be you. So let me give you an example of a more chilled out version for those of you who think they're more introverted. So you're walking by, you just start to say, oh, sorry, I just wanted to say you look really nice today, have a good day. Look, no one can hear me, people in the train ain't going to hear, have a nice day, bye, boom, out. So it doesn't matter, it's not a matter of I'm shy or I'm more confident because everyone's fucking shy when they start. I'm still shy, I'm working on it, it's a daily practice. No, you're never going to get to a place where you're super confident and you can handle every situation. That doesn't exist, we're only human. But you can get to a place where you're really confident, you're comfortable, you're a lot more self-accepting. So, you've seen that. That's simple, I promise you, and I really, when I tell you guys it comes from the heart and it means the truth, that stuff gets me in the street. I promise you, I wasn't in the mood thinking about approaching girls. I wasn't in the mood. She was walking slowly, walked slowly, she did. Oh hi, excuse me, you look, hi. She stopped, because some of them do, some of them stop, they went straight, stop. Asked me if I'm looking for directions, she asked me this. No, I wanted to say hi, where are you from? You look good, it's really nice to meet you. So I just, none game, just honesty, and came conversation, didn't expect none, got a number, went on 4 dates, got laid, dating her now. So, let's go back. So when people say stuff to me like, so I know what it's like when starting out, you want to get laid, you want instant results, I understand that, but you've got to learn Rome wasn't built in one day, step by step. Now, if you get into the habit of doing this, I promise you, it stops feeling like a game, it just feels like a habit, a good habit. It doesn't feel like you're actually going up. So it's not that taxing. In fact, you reserve a lot of energy, and then it's just a nice way to start your day. It's just a great way to start your day. So again, if you've got certain jobs you do, practice it. Even if you're reading the book, I don't know, I reckon there's a way to get into a better state to start reading the book. Maybe you want to, I don't know, there must be a way. You guys will figure it out. But whatever you do, you can do it better if you're in a good place. So boxing, before boxing gets into the ring, he doesn't go straight in the ring, start fighting, he hits the pads and he moves around in shadow boxes. Why does he do that? These practices have been around for years. So we've been doing it for years, we're just not practicing enough. So another one I'm going to show you. So let's say you've done 5 of those and you feel more spruced up and you've had a good reaction. Give me a good reaction as I walk. I just go, hey, you look good, and give me a very positive reaction. Hey, you look very good.
Oh, thank you.
Because, see, and that good at this. That will charge me up, right? And yeah, not every girl's going to give you that reaction. You don't need that. Again, even if the girl, give me a bad reaction. I want to see you look nice and look at me like I'm a creep. You look good. So, I feel bad now. But even that reaction will still move me because I've got a reaction. I've got some fucking chemistry. It's much better than me walking around in my head all day thinking, God, I've got to approach, it's just too stressful. So it simplifies. State is about simplicity, and it's about going at your own pace. Now what's great about state is, you can have a really advanced framework when you go out and you have loads of conversations in a row, 10, or if you're a complete newbie, me and Danny put loads of these videos out, you can just walk down the road saying I'm awesome, down Oxford Street. You will get some funny stares. But my point is, you can really take this so much more simpler. If you're not ready for compliments, you can walk by a girl, walk by me, just give her eye contact. He's good at this. More eye contact. You know, again, I'm getting worried. So again, look, we're getting in state because there's some human interaction going on. Do you understand? And then you'll get a bit more confident. One day you grow the balls if you're nervous, and then she'll look, you'll look, and you'll just go, oh, I've got to say hello, you're lovely, where are you from? London. And you've done it. You've done the approach. Don't worry about the next bit. The fact is you've done it. Because what a lot of students do, what I see, is they're raising one, and then they'll have a conversation, they might run out of things to say to start with, they'll walk away and they'll go, didn't get the number. I'm like, no, focus on what you did well. So again, It's not about looking at what goes wrong, it's about focusing on what goes right. Yeah? Thanks for that, mate. Obviously, thank you. Brilliant. So I'm not saying to water down the stuff, and I'm not saying, you know, to go over and lose all of our power, because I know it can look like, well, if I just say hello, I'm not being alpha, I'm not being dominant, I'm not showing, you are. Listen, don't buy into that rubbish. Being alpha is being yourself. That's how you be alpha. I don't have the framework of an alpha male. You put someone next to me, he's more alpha than me. Great, I don't care, I know who I am. So it's about finding what works for you, it's about being yourself, and it's about communicating on a level that you feel good in doing. So I need one more guy to come up, I need a new guy to practice on. Brilliant, thank you. Another round of applause, another great. Right, now, thanks mate. Right, what's your name?
Nas.
Naz, brilliant, thank you, Naz. So, alright, I'm going to demonstrate this on Naz. Now, this is another thing beginners do wrong. You're all doing it wrong, you're still doing it. Some of my students need to keep working there, we're all practicing. I'm still doing it wrong, surprise, I'm still learning. No enthusiasm. So, they may be feeling positive, but they walk up to the girl and show what they do. And imagine if someone did this to you, how you feel. Excuse me, where are you from?
I'm from here.
Okay, what do you do?
How would you read?
I just want to tell you you look beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Is that good? Good state? No, it's not good. How's that feel?
Well, I mean, it's not great.
Be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
It sucks, doesn't it? Yeah. It's basically going over to someone and saying, with 100 kilos, can you hold this 100 kg for me, please? You're giving them baggage. They don't want it. People don't want baggage. You're not giving any value. Now, when I say this stuff, it sounds like I'm being critical. I'm being critical, but it's not. Don't get too caught up in this, because at the same time, you've got to make these mistakes to learn. So anything I'm telling you is because I've made the mistakes. I'm an idiot when it comes to learning. What takes you 5 times takes me 100 times. I'm half Irish, if that's any reference. No offense to Irish people. But what I'm saying is, don't start panicking if you don't get it right in the first go. So I might put a video out on YouTube. And obviously I've got a bit more experience than you guys, I've done it a longer time, so it might look a bit more smoother, because I've had more approaches, I've had more failures, I've had more success, I've got more reference. And then you might think, oh shit, when I go out, it's got to look like, no, that's not what we're doing, that's not the point. It's like, if I go out and I need to pick up a girl, but I can just get a beginner to go out and just say hello to someone, I've succeeded doing my job, I'm happy, I've got him to be sociable, it's the first step. So don't get too caught up in getting to level 100, let's master level 1. So, this is what guys need to focus on, state. What's something you can do to enhance your state right now? I'm doing it right now, you guys probably didn't notice it. Voice tonality. Your voice tone is so important. If I start talking like that, I'll lose you guys are going to run out of the room. And that's what a lot of guys do, I see beginners doing it. And then what they say is, I need to be more dominant. And I'm like, no, you need to talk louder. Communication, so it's all simple. That's what my coaching is about. It's about taking you with what you have, fine-tuning you and giving you the simple things. I don't worry about all the complicated stuff, because that just makes it more harder. It makes getting laid a fucking nightmare. It makes it a mission and just going out to someone. I'm all about simplicity, because it's simple, it's fun, it's easy, and that's how it should be played. So, good tip is, all you do is go up to a girl and speak loud and clear. I'll give you an example. So, alright, she's on the street, for example, walk over. Excuse me, hi.
hello.
You look nice, where are you from?
Thank you very much. I'm from Ireland.
Okay, have a nice day, you're lovely, okay? Bye. Boom. Simple, but I don't see a lot of people doing this, not unless I've taught them. And again, that's not being arrogant, that's just speaking my mind. I see guys going over, I did it as well. So I'm trying to give you guys a shortcut. Going over, trying to, bravado, cockiness, arrogance, and I don't like it. And trying to be someone who's not. It's like 10 personalities in one guy. And it's the girls just thinking, what's going on? Because it's an incongruency. So it's very important to go over enthusiastic. You know, some people say, oh Johnny, is it like being a salesman? No, it's not, because you're not selling anything. You're fucking giving value. That's what I give value. I'm not selling anything. So when you go up to a girl, don't worry about the line. Just speak loud and clear. I'll do it again. And you give me a line. Someone give me a line. Their line they use a compliment.
You look phenomenal.
You look phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
You're getting hardware. You're horrible to me. You look okay. Okay. So all right, you're walking down the street slowly. Excuse me, hi. I just say you look phenomenal.
Thank you very much.
See the energy in that. See the kick. You can feel it. I'll do it one more time. I don't want you to tell me if you feel it. It's getting hot in there. Right. excuse me, Max, you look phenomenal. Where are you from?
Thank you very much.
And you feel it's like, boom!
Yeah.
You feel it, don't you?
Yeah.
And it would make you stay, wouldn't it? You'd want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Or at least if you did, you'd stay a little bit longer. So the energy is important. Thanks, mate. That's it. Thank you very much. Pleasure. So what I'm saying is, the state is the energy, and I'm sure some of you have heard the term vibe, building up your vibe. Your vibe, your state, your energy, your presence, your perception, it's all state building, whether you like it or not. So this is what fascinates me. And what I like about it is, sometimes you can get into state in 5 minutes, sometimes in half an hour, sometimes in 1 hour. But as long as you get there, that's all that matters. As long as you get there, that's what matters. So, any questions, guys, before I continue? Yes?
Hi, do you remember what happens if you come across with too much energy? Can you do that and sort of scare them off a bit?
You definitely can. Very good point. So it's balance, isn't it? But again, I'd rather someone going with too much energy and jump her a bit and they'll be like, alright, than going in like a zombie, like, So you are right, but again, everything in balance. So again, I don't live 24 hours a day in the state running around crazy, screaming in the streets. Might do that for half an hour, but I am a normal guy, just like you guys. Very normal, sometimes very boring. You get a camera and film me at home, I just go on my laptop, come home, emails, eat some food, maybe go and chill with a girl. I'm a normal guy as well, but I learned how to be superhuman with a state, and I need to. Superhuman. I'm telling you, this is a superpower. I think if more people knew about this, I don't know, it'd be a better world. Maybe athletes, maybe I've got to start teaching them this stuff, teach them, the footballers how to get in state. Maybe England will win a fucking game for once, but you know, it really is about learning how to get into state. So, any more questions? Yes?
Johnny, often when you're doing cold approach, you say you look phenomenal or you look great.
Yeah?
Is there another tactic? I mean, can girls, as opposed to saying you look great, what about just saying something a bit different, like my shoes or something like that? Does it always have to be about their appearance?
What did I say at the start? I said don't do anything, don't copy me. If you want to do that, that's fine. I mean, personally, I wouldn't go up to a girl and say you've got nice shoes, because that's just not, that doesn't resonate with how I see the world. But you might see it that way, and that very well works. You could tell me, went up and said, you know, you like a pink elephant, you like a cat, and it would work. So it's all about your energy. So that's what it's saying is, yes, you can go up to a girl and say you've got nice shoes. There's no rules. There's no rules in this. There are set principles, but you can say what you want within reason, obviously. I don't advocate offending women and all that stuff. I sit on a YouTube channel. I've got nothing. I love women, so be careful with offending and coming across too aggressive. But you're right. There is a fine balance of state. But what I'm saying is, it's almost like shifts. It's almost like volumes on a stereo. You learn to get into the right frequency, so you learn how to calibrate it. So obviously, if you're in a great state, you've been out on the street approaching girls, and then you go to a party, someone's house. You don't want to run in their house, are you, and going crazy? But you'll still have that energy, and you may just be having a chat with someone normally. Yeah, how's your work been? You know, how's your business? How's your family? How's the children? But they can feel it. They can feel, fucking hell, this guy's positive. You can feel it. I know, because I do this for years. I teach, and even when I've got students saying to me, and it's not to flatter me, fucking hell, Johnny, when I'm with you, I feel like Superman. You give me the energy. That's a fact. All my students always say that, because I know how to enhance my state. I know how to transfer my energy and put it onto someone else. And that's what's so good about this. You can make other people feel good. I know that sounds a little bit cliche, a bit cheesy, but you can go into a room full of people and you can make them feel good. Sometimes you can make them feel bad. Some days, you know, we can't be good every day, but we can be a lot more consistently in a better state. So, what I want to do is, I've talked about state.
How do you keep your state constant if you get bad reaction?
How do you keep your state constant if you get a bad reaction?
Yeah.
You have to get enough bad reactions to learn how to manage your emotions. I've done a video actually going to be on YouTube soon. It's practice. Now you are right, of course, if you're first starting and you get a bad reaction, it's going to affect you. It should affect you, and it's good for you. It's good for you. It's good for you to feel pain. It's good for you to feel a bit down about yourself, because how would you learn? You'd never learn. If everything went well, we wouldn't be here talking, trying to prove ourselves. What happens is, mate, you get desensitized the more rejections you get. Providing you're following the mindsets I'm putting out. There's other people, coaches as well, putting good stuff out. I'm not saying that I know everything, but I do know a lot. You'll start knowing how to rationalize things better. And I don't know if you was here earlier, I said, even if I go over out of state and a girl rejects me, I feel better because I took action, because I made that incremental movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a shift in perception. But again, I'm here to sort of tell you the reality. It wouldn't happen reading an ebook. It wouldn't happen watching a few videos. The videos are great to get you to go out and do it, but it comes with practice. I'm still answering your question, by the way, this is in depth. Another thing that will help you to overcome the rejection is if you start to focus on communication skills. Again, I've got loads of YouTube videos. Voice tonality, smile, body language. I know it sounds crazy. It's hard to feel rejected when you're in a good mood and someone says they're not interested in you. It's really hard. It's like, I don't know, it's just one of them things. It's like, I'm out sometimes and London's busy and someone might barge into me and for a second it might give me the ump and then I'm like, oh, it's alright, I'll just relax because it's the same principle, it's the same mindset. So whether it's state to stay with women, whether it's state to manage your relationships better, whether it's state for your business, whether it's state to do some sports, it really helps. So what I'm actually telling you guys, everything about my talk today is, I'm teaching you how to use your mind. Your mind is your best weapon and your mind is your own worst enemy. Because what goes on up in here plays out in the way you move. Everything, your movements, what you say, so it's just so important. Any more questions before we have a short break?
Is it the case that you should be as positive as possible?
Absolutely. You've got to be super, you want to get good at women, you've got to be super positive. I've learned now that there's no fine line, you've got to be a super positive guy. Because sometimes women are negative, and women are attracted to a man that has got positive energy, because what can they do? They can come to you with their problems, they can feel secure with you, and that's what is important. I'm realising that every day as a man, especially in relationships, whether it's open dating, whether it's having fun, they're attracted to positivity. I always say to guys, to give them hope, I say, women aren't attracted to the way I look, they're attracted to the way I feel. So it's very important, very important.
And you should be the happiest man in the world.
You don't mind me saying, we've worked together for a long time, you've been doing well at this. You asked me one day when we was out, you said a great thing, you said, I should be the happiest man on a happy girl. What did I say to you? I said, yes. Straight away I said, yes. There's no room for, let me be 60% happy and just go out there and try and make it happen. Not good enough. In today's world, things are moving fast, social media, we've got online dating, there's all these different ideas. You've got to be on your game, you've got to be super positive. You don't have to be the best looking, you don't have to have the most money, we've got vibe. I've seen it. And again, because I like putting this out, so I want to inspire you guys. I want to really fucking break your limiting beliefs. I had it for years. I want to give you this gift and tell you that I work with guys who are millionaires. They're struggling just as much as maybe some of you guys. So it ain't the money, it's the mindset, it's the state. Some guys break up with their girlfriends, it ruins their state, it ruins their mood, they can't get back in. I've had guys come to me, had as much success with women as I had, but they've had a breakup. They said, Johnny, I'm in a bad place because I'm not feeling good. If you're not feeling good, you can't perform. You can't do it. So that's why people ask me, I love teaching, I'm passionate about it. I only work with guys who are committed, but I love it. And the reason I love it because I enjoy doing it. If I didn't enjoy it, I'd quit tomorrow. Because if I'm not going to enjoy what I do, I can't teach people, I can't give value, it's just a waste of my time. So what I'm saying is, then it goes even further. Hands up if you guys want me to go deeper, put your hands up. Want me to go deeper? Hands up if you want me to talk about how this changes your life. I'm going to come away from getting laid now, put your hands up. Okay, I promise you, my mindset now, the last this year, is very strong. Yeah, I'm equally as vulnerable as any of you, I'm human. I've got insecurities. Some of them I can't get rid of, it's being human, but my mindset is fucking strong. I will not let no one tell me I can't do something, because I know what's possible. I know that going from a guy that didn't get laid for 4 years, that sat in a flat, unemployed, with no money, depressed, thought he was ugly, felt insecure, was fighting all the time, got involved with the police, got in trouble for drugs, had no hope in life. I changed that, I grew a business. I've been teaching guys all around the world how to improve with women, how to change their life. How have I done that? I didn't just wake up one day and just find a method. I really learned to change the way I think. And I work on it every day. Because there's two dialogues in the head. One of them talks shit, tells you you can't do it. The other one tells you, you know you can do it. Everyone has a masterpiece in them. Everyone has a masterpiece in them. That voice inside you that says, this ain't for me, I can do better than this. I don't want to be around negative people who are going to hold me back. I don't want to be around people who are going to inspire me. I want better results with women. I want a better looking girlfriend. There's nothing wrong with that, you deserve it. But that's your mindset, you've got to adjust your thinking. So for example, I'll talk about this for a bit and I'm going to go further. A lot of guys have fear of success. Fear of success, fear of rejection. Quick analogy, see an attractive girl down the street, you're afraid to approach her because she's going to reject you, that's what you think. The second paradigm is, what the fuck am I going to do if I get her? I don't have any money. I don't have a place to take her. I haven't washed today, all sorts of limiting beliefs. So as you go over in the wrong state. So you basically go over saying, please don't accept me, or please don't reject me. It's a catch-22, you can't win. You can win in the end. And it's something they talk about in Zen. I keep throwing Zen out. I throw seeds out, maybe you guys are going to go on YouTube, check out Alan Watts. Alan Watts taught me more than any pickup guru. Some people call me a pickup guru, I'm not. I'm just a natural guy who teaches them how to be. Come in, sir, don't be shy, I'm in state. But, you know, it's, this stuff goes deep. It goes very deep. Give me a second. So, I'm saying, getting good with girls is a metaphor to improve yourself. So when people ask me, Johnny, do you like personal development? Of course I do, I love it. Johnny, are you interested in improving your fashion? Of course I am. Johnny, do you like business? Of course I love business. I love business, it's a great challenge. All these things come from being in a better state. So I think you guys are getting an idea of how important it is. It's not just about getting crazy to run up to a girl and be a performing monkey, which I do sometimes, and I do enjoy it, because just to get the fun, because I like fun. But it really is about changing your perception. Changing your perception. When I heard all this stuff when I started, I just thought, yeah, this is just feel-good stuff. This is just telling me to feel good for the sake of feeling good, but it's not going to work. It does work. It's very simple, it's very powerful. So, don't feel sorry for yourself though. Please don't do that. I did it for years. I thought, why don't these girls like me? I'm a nice guy, I have a good family, I know how to treat a woman. It's not enough. The girl said to me once, Johnny, a girl's not going to sleep with you out of pity. Doesn't happen. Not unless it's a prostitute. I've done that as well. So I've said prostitutes before, so I know about that. Again, I'm not saying it's bad, it's good. I'm just saying I've done it. So, perception's everything. So let's go back. I'm going to go right from the start and very deep. So if you're a guy that don't know nothing about pickup, you've never done it, you want to get laid, you want to get relationships, you want to improve with women, first thing you do is leave your house. Go for a walk down the street smiling. That's what you need to do. Go for a walk for an hour, walk around smiling, just having a smile on your face, go home. I guarantee you, you're going to feel better. Second day, well, if you're busy, you've got a busy work schedule. You do it the second week rolling. You walk out, smile, with eye contact. So you walk past strangers smiling. I don't care if you're crazy, because they're not going to pay the bills. And when you're dating hot girls, they're not going to be around to be like, hey, do this. They're not going to be around. So stop worrying about what people think. That's the problem with most guys, all of you. You care what people think too much. Of course, to some extent, I care what people think. I want to make a good impression on the world. But I don't care enough to let it stop me. No one gets to where my goals with me. Same as you guys. No one can stop you getting laid with yourself. I can't stop you. Your friends can't stop you. I can definitely help you. But there's one thing I can't give you, and that's passion and motivation. Maybe I can motivate you a bit, but you've got to do it yourself. So don't feel sorry for yourself, because I did it for many years. Self-loathing, it doesn't get you anywhere. It actually gets you more rejection. Because what you start doing is, you make excuses, you rationalise why you're getting rejected, and you blame people. Now, I'm not saying you should take all the blame, but if you take most responsibility, when you start getting laid, you actually can credit yourself. You say, I'm awesome, I got laid, or even if you get over approaching anxiety, whatever your goal is, whatever's getting in your way, overcoming it, you're going to feel good, you're going to give yourself a pat on the back. So, once you get good in the area of women, you guys need to go deep. You do actually start thinking about, well, hang on a minute, getting good with women was fucking stressful. It was a lot of work. I had to go out, I had to phone a few women up. Some people do boot camp, some people take coaching, some people read books, some people go on different courses that have nothing to do with women. You invest money, invest time. But when you get good at it, you say, that was worth it. And you've gone through so much pain, so much pleasure, you say, shit, maybe I can do something, I can grow a business, maybe I can start traveling around the world. You get more enthusiastic. And now I want to talk about, you get into a permanent state. So it becomes, you're not in state on Thursday, and then for the other 6 days you're depressed. You start always being like that. Because I meet people on the street and they say, every time I see you, you're always in state, you're always in state. I say, kind of, I'm always in state, I'm always in state. So I'm always working on it, I'm always in momentum. If I stop working on myself for 3 months, I probably start slipping back into being an introvert, being a little bit, not wanting to get out there. So that's why I work on it every day. 1 day a week's not enough, it's not going to work. When you see guys like Tony Robbins, successful guys, Steve Jobs, you think these guys worked on their craft once a day? Please don't insult me. So people ask me questions like, how much time should I practice? Every fucking day, you've got to practice. Whether you're practicing on the street, you've got to practice in your mind. So you don't have to, I'm not saying you have to go out for 7 days a week approaching girls, but in your mind you have to train your mind. So really, it's not game, I don't call it game, it's just life, it's improving your life. So, you're going to improve your fashion. Hands up here who thinks they can improve their fashion. Well, I know I can. Look at me in this blue t-shirt. We all can, right? We can all improve our fashion. Why have we done it? Why are we doing it? What's stopping us? Shout some things out. All right, talk. Money.
Laziness.
That's better. Laziness. Don't make excuses. Money. Primark. What about Primark? What about going to shops that are cheaper? They got good stuff. You can still find a good look. If I had a horrible clothing that was Armani, it looked horrible, stripes or really something really baggy or it was incongruent, is that going to be better than wearing something from Primark that's cheaper, but it's a matching suit? You know the answer. So again, perception, worrying about what other people think, trying to fit into certain trends, it's really changing your mindset. And when I hear all the time guys say, I'm taking coaching with you, and I told my friend about it, he laughed at me. I said, well, why is he laughing for? I said, is he getting laid? Is he getting on dates? No. Tell him to shut up laughing, then what's he laughing for? He should be, don't worry about it. So I don't worry about what he thinks, what she thinks. You should be more concerned about how you view yourself. Hand up here who views himself as an awesome guy, put your hands up. Some of you didn't. I like the honesty. I promise you guys as well, when I first started, I never gave myself any credit. It used to be other people. And when someone will compliment me, I'll say, no, that's not true. No, I'm a loser, I'm suck. A guy would say, why don't you do this? You're talented, you could be a comedian. Or you could teach, or you could do sports, you could run, you could do boxing. I can't do that, I can't do that. I see it a lot when I first work with students. That's before I transform them. They say, I say, why don't you do that? No, I can't do that. Because what they're saying is, I'm afraid of the success. You're straight away saying no. So again, I was out the other day, I was in Green Park with another student. I knew it was a tough situation, I appreciate it, he's new. There was everyone sitting out having picnics, groups, guys, women, single girls. I had to trick him a little bit. I'm a bit naughty sometimes, like the guru does, he tricks the student. And I stopped him in the middle, we were talking, and it was in the middle of a conversation. I do this a lot, because I like talking. People are having a chat with me, and I'm like, stop for a sec. I did it with two students. One of them maybe sitting in a room, one of them was not here. I went to point him out. And I said, do you like parks? He said, yeah. I said, how would you feel about going up to a girl, just giving her a compliment? And he went, I don't know, Johnny, it's a bit fucking scary. And I went, alright, no problem, we're not going to do it. He wasn't in the state. I said, alright. I said, see that girl sitting over by the tree? She's pretty, isn't she? He goes, yeah. I go, what if I was to say you should just go up and approach her, you've got my permission, and you just give her a compliment? It doesn't matter what happens. Just you going over and just going over and giving a compliment, you won, you're the man. I said, you're a fucking boss. I motivated him, trying to get him in the state. Stop his chat. Then he goes, yeah, but, and I went, what, but what? And he went, yeah, but I don't know, man, there's people around, there's people watching me. I said, people are always going to watch you. I'm watching you, I'm teaching you. Your mum and dad are watching you. They're always, what are you going to do? You're going to stop living? I didn't say all that, but that's what I meant. So I said to him, alright, I said, I'll tell you what, you don't have to do it. I said, if you don't do it, I'm going to fail as a coach. I don't like failing. I don't like failing. So I said, I don't need to be selfish. You do it for me. You do it to make me successful. He goes, alright, okay, alright. I went, he goes, what do you want me to do? I said, just walk over to her, nice and calm, be yourself, be congruent. Being congruent means be yourself. Say what you would say. Give her a compliment. I watched him, walked over. Big smile on his face. He's in good state now because he's got a responsibility to impress me. And I said, make me successful, not yourself. So his mindset is, I can take that because I'm taking Johnny's responsibility. You see, the psychology? He walks over, excuse me, hi, you look nice. 20-minute conversation. When he came out, I said, what are you doing? See? He came out, I said, give yourself a fucking pat on the back. That's awesome what you did. And he said to me, I can't believe what I just said. I said, do you know what? Everyone was staring at you. I was staring at you. I couldn't believe what you did. Because I said, I'm afraid to do that. He started laughing. So, mindset, state perception. So what happened was, and I didn't tell him when I first took him out, we're going to the park. So sometimes my point is, to not lying, you've got to manipulate yourself. Because as human beings, we're very fucking smart. We delude ourselves a lot. We trick ourselves into not wanting to go places to do stuff we want to do. We find excuses. I don't find excuses, I'm a coach, I find a way. I find, where there's a will, there's a way. Someone tells me they're living in a house, they're living with 6 people, they're going to take a girl back. There's a fucking way, where there's a will, there's a way. Someone tells me you ain't got no money, you want to start a business, there's a way. Yes, there's certain objections, there's things you've got to get through. No excuses. I'm done with it. So don't make excuses. You owe it to yourself to find a way. So, back to student. Once I got him in state, I didn't even have to ask him to approach. He spoke to another 3 girls in the park. We spoke to loads of groups. single girls, other girls, and then I realised my perception changed. Because I'm only human, I'm a coach, but I'm only human, that guys. I still have voices in my head, and I thought, fucking hell, it's easy in the park. It's easier to teach in the park on the street. So for this week, I've been taking my students to the park, and I'm going to go to another area. And I said to all my students, because I was getting feedback, because I want to know what's working, what's consistently working. And they said, they like the park because the energy's different. The state's different, it's more relaxed. So, another thing I'm going to talk about is using your brain, using social skills. Because it isn't about going out again and causing chaos. If you're afraid to approach on trains, go to the park. There's no rule book. There's no rule book that says if you don't go on the street, you're less than a man. It's not true. So, if you, yes mate?
Yeah, I did a couple of approaches in the park, and it's really easy to have an instant date, because then you just have a little talk, you say, may I join you? And she says, yeah.
Beautiful.
Instant, and then gave me a beer, and yeah, just had a nice chat.
Brilliant. That's it. That's what it's about. And I like what you just said there, because I went there to see it, but just the fact that you said, may I join you? That's not a pick-up line. That's social skills. That's open, and the girl could have said, no, I'm busy, and you went, all right, have a nice day. All right? But you joined there, and you had an instant date. Now, what you did there, if I went years back when I was starting, I'd never have done that. Do you know when the first book, the game came out, it was telling you to go and ask for the time. I couldn't do it. I had anxiety to ask for the time. I'd rather go walk down to London, look at Big Ben and get the time there. It's less scary. It's a longer walk though, I think, on money on this card. But it's just simple things, simplicity. And then if you want to talk about getting your game really advanced, getting natural, once you master the simple things, you then start layering on all the complicated stuff. And then you can start going into multiple dating, multiple relationships, getting laid more. And again, I'm saying getting laid more, I'm just lounging, I'm just getting a point across. You don't have to get laid loads. You don't have to get laid. Maybe one girl. Maybe happy with that. I know I've certainly been happy with one girl in the past. It just depends what you want. But state's great, because state for me, I say it to all my students, it's about creating your own reality, having your framework. So we've got Sheldon here, if you don't mind me saying, we've got David. David's way of getting in state, completely different to Sheldon's. Johnny's way of getting in state, different to Sheldon's. But we all get there, we'll get into the frequency, we'll get to that place. When you're in that place, it feels nice, it does feel safe, you do feel confident, you do feel congruent. And the great thing about it is, when you slip out of state, you go back into state. Sorry, that didn't make sense, rewind that, edit that. When you go out of state and you go, I'm getting tired. When you go from being in state to being out of state, you don't feel bad about it, because you've got so much positive reference from the universe. When you're in state, you've collected so much good information about yourself. So you can have a bad day, you can have a cheat day. They call it bodybuilding a cheat day. If you train 6 days a week, you can have a burger, get a bit fat, I need it in my belly. But you can have a cheat day. A cheat day is where you go out, you don't approach anything. You forget about games, switch off. You just don't focus on women. Because again, that's healthy as well. You have to have a break sometimes. And you'll just find it will improve. Now, I'm going to throw some things out. I don't do all of these things. I do some of them, but they do improve your state. Meditation. I've never actually done sitting meditation. I would like to do it. At the moment, this is an excuse. I'm going to tell myself I haven't got time. I have got time as excuses. Change of fashion. Go down to the gym. Hit the bunching bag. Again, I know some of you do sports. I can see it. Some of you guys are in shape. You don't have to be a world champion boxer. You don't have to get in the ring and spar. If you punch a heavy bag and you hit the mitts, and then you take a shower, you'll feel like a superhuman coming out. On a sunny day, you've just been in the gym, you've got out all of your energy, and then you can go up to a girl and you can say, hey, you look really attractive, and you'll feel the vibration. I'm going to stop for a second. We're going to have a 10-minute break. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's annoying, but it gets you into state. All right, guys, last half an hour. This is awesome. So, a quick overview of what I've talked about. I've gone right down to the most simplistic thing in going out, leaving your house and getting into state with the most simple social exercises. Walking past strangers, saying hello, using eye contact, smiling, whatever level you're at. Progressing on to actually stopping girls, being a little bit more direct. Going from that to having full conversations. When you get more conversations, asking for phone numbers, texting, and so forth. I'll stop from that point because I want to keep this fairly intermediate, newbie. So I've shown you some demonstrations. You can actually go out and try that framework. That will help. And I'm finding, personally for myself, because I'm always experimenting, changing my philosophies, updating them, it really puts the girl at ease when she's walking down the street and you just, as you're passing, you just say, you know, make a statement and just say, hey, you look good, and then just call something out. Because she almost feels, and I got some feedback from a girl the other day, because I love picking women's brains and just finding out what they think about this. She feels that she's got the power to say yes or no. Now, I know that might sort of go against our philosophies in direct game. Hold with me, stay with me for a sec, because we want to be direct, we want to go over, we want to be the one to carry the frame out and lead. But sometimes it's nice, if you want to be more alpha, that's a joke, and congruent, it's nice to give a woman a feeling that she can take you or leave you, but either way, you're still good without or good with her. So by walking by and passing her on the street, wherever your high street is, it could be anywhere, it could be, I don't know, it could be in your work, your office, just going, oh, you look nice there, you look very glamorous. She's like, oh, thank you. And then she'll want to hear more, because you're walking away. Psychologically, it's a great technique anyway, because you're giving someone something, a gift, and then you're walking away. But more than most people do, they give a girl a compliment, and they're leeching on her. Now again, I do that, because sometimes you've got to do that. So obviously, don't take everything I say to extreme, but I'm just giving you guys some other ideas. And I'm really trying to stress the importance of making this as fun as possible. I'm now going to move on to self-amusement. That's right. Self-amusement for me is everything. It's my medium in state. Remember I said about having your own medium. So your own version, your blueprint of state is completely different to your friends, and so it should be. So it should be. No one's state should look the same. If everyone's state's the same, we're going wrong, guys. We're trying to be like everyone else. We can use the same principles, but you want to find your own medium. Right, hands up if you know what self-amusement means. Because I didn't when I first started. Okay, in pick-up terms, because I know some of you are familiar with pick-up artistry or PUA. Not that I don't advocate myself a pick-up artist, by the way. But just to stress the point, self-amusement is that whole thing about you're having fun in your reality and you're dragging the girl into your reality, or you're sort of saying to the girl, well, I'm in this place, if you don't want to join me, that's your problem. So again, you're kind of qualifying and disqualifying, for those of you who know about those old American methods. So for me, self-amusement's my congruency, it's my frequency. I'll tell you why. I come from quite a comedic upbringing. I'm sure a lot of you guys like comedy too. I don't take myself too serious. I don't take myself very serious at all, actually, because life's it's funny like that. I like to enjoy it. So I get laid because my personality is quite comedic. Yes, I have a serious side. We all do. But what I'm saying is that's my medium to meet girls. It's not for everyone, but it fucking works. And I was teaching the other day with a guy. He's not in the room now, he went when we were saying it. Very introverted, very sort of, he said it himself. So again, I would never talk bad about my students, I love them. He said, I'm a bit geeky, Johnny, so, you know, I want to try stuff that I'm going to feel comfortable with. I said, if you feel like trying it, do you want to do it? We can try it. He went, yeah. We did a whole session of self-amusement. Fucking amazing results. That's the best he's ever done. He told me, you've got to put more stuff like this on YouTube. He said, this will help a lot of guys like myself who are introverted, who are from a sort of technical background. Because all I did was, he tapped into his own frequency and he had fun. I watched him do it. I watched him go up to a girl on Regent Street, an Asian girl, a really attractive girl, and I don't even remember what he said. He said something like, do you like me, can I have your number? I can't remember exactly what he said. He got a number, he was texting her. He made a slight slip up in the texting, but she agreed to meet him, and then he texted her too much. I told him he shouldn't have done that. But my point is, he got a result of it, he got a good reference point, and he knew it was possible, and he started to find his medium, because I said, listen, I said, you can't be me. You can't be me, you can't be another guy who's doing it, another day gamer, another pickup artist. You've got to find your own version. And I found out that this guy is naturally a playful guy. He's very funny. He's not the guy that he thought he was. He's not boring just because he does stuff on computers. He just hadn't tapped into that yet. So we worked on state building stuff. And I brought him in with me, and we stopped a lot of girls in Central London, Leicester Square, and we just stopped them and said, you know, we just had fun. We just said, we want to talk to you. We're out, say, trying to meet women. We want to get phone numbers. We got their opinions. We were just giving compliments. And it was brilliant. And then after, when we came out, it's like coming out of a positive tornado. After an hour of that, you come out and you're like, fuck, where was I? That was amazing. I was in a different world. So what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to have fun doing it. Again, your type of humour could be different, because I know in game, I know what happens. As soon as something works, everyone tries to model themselves off it. And then it starts losing its essence, it loses its authenticity, and it goes from being natural to becoming a rehearsed routine or something that's structured. And I don't agree with that. I don't think human interaction should be structured. I think it's very poisonous, it's a wrong mindset, it's disingenuine, it doesn't work. You can't structure your conversation. You can, you know, have a sort of process or a certain principles going through a conversation, but you can't structure it. You can try it, I've tried it, many guys have, but you won't get a connection. You'll get a very cold feeling, like talking to a girl, it just will feel empty. So, self-amusement. I've done loads of stuff on YouTube. I use different frameworks, and it's just stuff that comes to my head. I've got like a comedic brain. I've got a negative self-talk. I've got a positive self-talk, and then I've got my successes. So I've got these different voices that come in. You guys are the same. If you didn't know it, trust me, the same. So the amusement side is the playful, is the loving side of me. That's my favourite side of me. That's my congruency. When I'm in that place, I get amazing results with women. I can teach better. My students get better results. If I'm in a good place, bad teacher, bad student. And I always live by that. So I do stuff like, when girls pass, I just say, you're lovely, will you marry me? And again, it just cuts out all the rubbish. She knows I'm joking. That's the beauty of it. She knows that I know, that she knows that I know. It's just a joke. It's a bit of fun. It's me just having a positive, it's me spreading the vibes, baby, having a laugh. So she'll say, oh yeah, someone will go, yeah, I'll marry you. And you get that nice chemistry. And then before you know it, you're standing right, you're breathing right, you're smelling right, your voice tonality is right, you're saying the right stuff, because you've got freedom, you've got social freedom. Again, loads of videos I put out with Danny and Imran, we've done social freedom. It's great, it's amazing. And yes, I do it because it's got a lot of entertaining value, and I know people like to watch that stuff, but it's the message behind it. All I'm saying is, guys, make it fun, don't make it strenuous. Talking to women is not regimental. It should not be, yes sir, stop, compliment, statement, assumptions. That's all regimental. That's not how you connect. You guys have been laid here before. Maybe some of you are young, you got it all to come. Bear with me, I'm not a psychic. You've had relationships. You were not regimental when you met a girl. You wasn't, I know you wasn't. I'm not stupid, I've been doing this for years. You were in the right frequency. What happened was, you broke up, you forgot how to get back into that frequency. You lost confidence. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you forgot how to talk to women. Being in the right frequency is everything. So I like self-amusement, I like to have humour. What I do is with students sometimes, because I know everyone's different, they respond to different things, we do a bit of self-amusement, and another session, we'll do serious stuff. We'll be more serious, we'll go over, more chilled out. Because I like to get the essence from different things, because you can incorporate the principles. So I'll give you an example. When I stop a girl, you might see me go up on YouTube and say, hey, give me the number, no one gets hurt. She goes, ha, 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 I laugh. I may never see her again. I feel good for 5 seconds. But what happens is, I'm at an event somewhere. I'm networking with someone. Could be a guy, preferably a woman. I'm having a chat with her about life. And that little bit, that bug, that self-amusement. I've been out weeks before practicing, and I'll get a thing in my stomach, and I'll say something funny. I'll say, you're actually lovely. I know we're at an event. I shouldn't say it, but you're really gorgeous. And she'll giggle. So that practice shows up in my life. So me being self-amused on the street, I'll be self-amused when I work with my clients. I'm more positive. I'll be self-amused talking on YouTube. So that's my whole point. So what you practice is what you start preaching. So less talk, more action. And when you do it with self-amusement, it doesn't feel like game. You get social freedom. Danny films me all the time. Imran films me all the time. The stuff I get away with is, I shouldn't get away with it. It's murders. Kissing girls on camera, French kissing on the street. I couldn't do that. My game's not that good. I couldn't just go up to a girl all serious. Well, maybe I could, but because experience, but probably couldn't. But when I'm self-amused, when we're out, most of the best stuff I do is not on camera, because it's not planned, it's just spontaneous. Obviously, when there's a camera there, I'm kind of aware I'm being filmed, so it comes from spontaneity. Self-amusement is about tapping into a positive place. It's about being sexual in the right way, not a perverse way or a creepy way, which I'll explain after, because I've done it, I've made mistakes. It is about coming from a good place, and it's fun. It is fucking fun as hell, honestly. If you go out for an hour, I know some of you have tried it, and you just walk up to girls and say, will you reject me? Can I get your number? Will you give me a date? Do you want to do street Tinder? It's just fun. We have to have fun doing this. I've seen too many guys going out and they've got really long faces, and I want to give them a hug because I've been there, and they're stressed out. It shouldn't look like that. If you're going to get rejected in style, and I mean that. If you're going to go down, go down on your, what do they say in the war? Go down on with your sword, your shield, I don't remember. But if you're going to go down in style. Don't go down like a bitch. Don't be a pussy. Don't complain. It doesn't do any good. Have fun. You don't even realise you've been rejected when you're having fun. I don't even see it. I was out one day in central London. I'll never forget this. I was out having fun. I stopped a girl. I said something. She walked away. A guy come charging up to me, run over. He goes, Johnny, did you get a number? What? I said, no. And he went, well, how come she rejected you? And I went, I'm having fun. Leave me alone. But I understood where he's coming from, because I used to be like that. Every approach had to equal a lay. Crap mindset. No mindset. I'm all about To meet the right one, I fucking approach 100 girls. And some people say, is it a con? Is it a scam? Or is it that you have to approach 1,000 girls to meet? I don't care if I've got to approach 3,000 to get the right girl. That's my mentality. I never quit. Fail your way to success. If I've got to approach fucking 300 girls to meet an awesome girlfriend, I'm going to do it. Because in the 3,000 failures, I'm going to learn about myself. I'm going to learn some women lost out on a good guy. I lost out on a few good women. I'm going to learn more, aren't I? So when I get the girl on the 3,000s approach, don't worry, guys. You guys are going to be going, oh my God, how many approaches it takes? 3,000. Just trust me. My point is, it's fun. It's so much fun that when I go out, it's not stressful. I'm calm now. It's so much fun. I love it. I go out and I don't have it no more. I've broken off all that stuff, the pressure of having to get laid, get numbers, perform, have fun with it. Hands up if you resonate with what I said. Don't please me. I've got a whole room. Oh wow, you agree with me. Maybe you're polite. Trust me guys, state is about fun. It's about getting into that place. State is about, sometimes we've got to put our problems aside. I know that. We've got depression, we've got bills to pay, we've got fucking noisy neighbours, I've had it, playing music. Sometimes you've got neighbours having loud sex, it pisses you off. So I know every little thing can affect you. Everything affects everything. You know, sometimes you get a bill come through you didn't know you had. TV license, I don't know, all these little things matter. You're going out to start approaching girls, you get a phone bill and it kills your state. And it might be a bill just £50, but it's like, oh, I've got a phone bill. Negative emotions, I can't talk to women. Yes, you can. Pay the bill a month later. I didn't mean that. But what I'm saying is, you learn how to control your state. Your state is everything. I'm not the best pickup artist in the world. I don't need to be. I don't have the most articulate vocabulary. I don't need to be. I'm not the biggest built guy. I don't need to be. I'm congruent. I know who I am. I know how to get into the right place. I know how to put girls into the right frequency. I know how to go from getting rejected to getting success. You guys can do the same. So don't worry about failing going out. You should be failing. You should be getting a lot of failure if you want to be success. You know, guys, when guys say stuff like, I've heard guys say, I've never approached a girl in the street. I don't need to do that. Okay. How many girlfriends you got? What? Any dates? I'm seeing one girl at the moment. Do you like her? She's all right. Where'd you meet her? Online dating. Shut up then. Why are you talking? You're talking rubbish. You'd love to meet a nice girl. You'd love to have the choice to meet many women. Again, I'm not saying you have to meet many women. You can get a girlfriend. I'm just saying this is something beautiful. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to sort of hold you back. It's so much fun. I wish I could have myself in the future go back and wake me up and say, get out of bed, go and try this. So when you go out giving compliments, smile, enjoy it. Sometimes you'll have a situation where you'll talk to 10 girls, 9 girls will all receive it very well. You get 1 girl who's in a bad mood. And I know some of you guys do this. You'll bypass the 9 positive reactions and you'll focus on the negative one. Hands up if you like that. I used to be like that. You'll say, those 9 ones must have just been being nice to me. The one who was nasty, she's telling the truth. And it's completely irrational. It's over-analysing. So, back to what Sheldon said about being positive. Do you have to be positive? Yes, you do. You do have to be positive. You have to force yourself sometimes. Sometimes I have to force myself. Not fake it till you make it, practice till you make it. That's my motto. I'm going to change that motto. I don't believe in that bullshit, fake it till you make it. What's the point of faking it? I can start now. I don't need to sit in front of a room full of people and fake who I am and fake my philosophies. I know the truth. I speak the truth. People don't like bullshit. Not fake it till you make it. Practice it till you make it. People will forgive you when you're nervous. You call it out. That's being a man, that's being honest. People don't forgive when you're bullshitting. So if you're nervous, make fun of it. Say, look, I'm nervous. You can even say it. There's a guy on the internet, Johnny Berba, he puts stuff out on YouTube. I've seen his stuff. I'm going out, I'm trying out. Blame me. Just approach the girl. I want you guys to be happy. Blame me. Sometimes you've got to put a responsibility on someone else. So what used to help me back in the day when I started, I thought, I'm not the only one who's getting rejected. I'm not the only one who's critical of himself. I'm not the only one who's insecure. I'm not the only one who feels that he's not in the best shape. And then I started getting more confident because I thought, if there's guys just like me, that means I'm human. That means that I'm not the only one going through this. Equally, if there's guys getting laid doing well with hot girls, I can be that guy too. And eventually I did get there. And I'm there now, and it's a fucking good place. I love it. I wouldn't change it for nothing. All the hell I went through, all the rejections, all the self-doubt, it was worth it. So, self-amusement, go out, have fun. Watch the video me and Danny do. Do a day of cheesy pickup lines. I give you permission. I give you permission from today, tomorrow. Go out and use cheesy lines and go up to the hottest girls, the ones that frighten you. And I keep saying it, and other coaches have said it. The hotter girls are easier to sleep and date with. I'm going to repeat it again, and you guys are going to repeat it after me. The whole lot of you. The hotter girls on the street are easier to pick up and sleep with and date. We're going to say it on the count of 3, so I'll get into your head. On the count of 3, we're going to say the hotter girls are easier to sleep with and date with from the street. 1, 2, 3. The hard girls are easier to pick up in the street and date. That was rubbish. Look at the state. What I want to teach you guys. Look at this. Come on. One more time, because you don't believe it, and that's what's stopping you. Okay, again, in a better state. Guys, you've got to convince me. I've got to buy this. You've got to sell this to me. The same when you go up to a girl, you've got to convince her you mean what you're saying. 1, 2, 3. The hard girls are easier to pick up and sleep on the street. Simple. You see? Mindset, state, emotions, it's everything. If I take one of you guys out now, from all this talk, this positive talk, and I take you out, you're going to get better results. I ain't going to take you out though, because I don't do it for free and I need a break, I need to get some rest. But if I was to take you out, you get better results, because I got you in state. You can say it's good manipulation, it's bad manipulation. Manipulation takes place every day of every second. I'd rather be honest in my manipulation, and that's what I do. Some people say, is what you're doing manipulative? Isn't everything manipulative? I walk past a high street store, there's branding, they're trying to get me in to buy stuff. I'll buy it if I get something out of the product. So we do like being manipulated in the right way. So when girls say, I don't want guys to be creepy, I've done a documentary about it. What they mean is, I don't want a guy who's not congruent, a guy who comes up, doesn't speak his mind, he's not being himself. The way he is with his family and friends, he gives me someone else. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want to be treated in that way. You can't blame him. You wouldn't want to hang out with someone who was disingenuine. So practice what you preach, give what you want to receive. So when you're out today, tomorrow, the next days, you're going to start thinking, you're going to think about, yeah, Johnny's right. When I go in, let me smile more. Let me be more free-flowing. Let me use some cheesy lines. Let me get into that right frequency. And you'll start getting better results. How do I know that? My students are getting amazing results. Some of them here as a testimonial. My comments get better on YouTube. I hardly get any negative comments. I want some negative comments. What's going on? So I know what I'm talking about. I do it every day. Some of you see me. Every fucking day you see me in Piccadilly. Every time I teach, I finish, I go out, I practice. Why do I practice? Do I practice because I love it. I enjoy it, and I'm always learning. I'm learning and learning and learning, and I love getting rejected. And I know that's going to annoy some people. I love it. Getting rejected reminds me I'm still human. It puts my feet on the ground. There's a lot more to improve in. And I learned that women are emotional. The same girl I stop on a Thursday says no. She says yes the next Saturday, because she sees me with another girl who's hotter. That's a joke. But do you understand my point? Women are emotional. So don't take it personal when they say no. Don't take it personal when they don't want to stop you for a few seconds. It's not because of all these, you go too deep into it. Sometimes they're in a rush. When I'm out teaching sometimes, I don't know if some coaches talk about it, I do. As well as teaching guys how to be a successful woman, I teach them how to fail miserably. So some students, I'll tell them to stop a girl, they'll do it correct. She walks away, they go, Johnny, what did I do wrong? I see you didn't do anything wrong. And they'll say, what do you mean? But I couldn't, no, this is the reality. This is human beings. Sometimes she is in a rush. She's got to go to the fucking hospital, a friend's dying, I don't know what's going on, it's serious. She can't stay and listen to what you got to say. She wants to have sex, but she's in a rush. Accept it, makes you a better man. I'm serious, I really mean it, because it goes too far sometimes, it's silly. No one should have the pressure that they have to be successful in every single thing they do. No one lives like that. That's not true, that's marketing, that's a fantasy. But I always say to guys, when you get good in this area, I'm not being arrogant, I've got so much fucking pussy around me, I don't know what to do with it. I want to share it and give it to my friends, but I can't give them strangers. Because I get girls texting me saying, I want to meet you, you stop me on the street. And it's very flattering, but if I didn't be humbled in this, if I didn't go through the failures, I wouldn't be in this position. And it's not being arrogant, it's being honest. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back, I work my fucking arse off. So I know anyone who gets good at this, you have to master yourself, you have to master your state. Any questions on state again?
I've got a question, not exactly on that, but
that's all right.
How do you do it when you're out on your own rather than with someone? Because I find it a lot easier if I'm with someone to sort of go for it. Is that just about getting into state again? Sort of,
It's probably, because I know even when people take coaching after they're going to go on their own, it's probably the next hardest sticking point up from approach anxiety. So once you master approach anxiety, once you get good in front of someone, you've got to do that. It's something you've got to persevere with. I don't think anyone has come up with a full anecdote for it yet. But I'm going to put some videos on YouTube and show it. But I think it's something you've got to learn to do yourself. And that's what I do when I teach people. I pass them on the tools and they've got to teach themselves. There are certain things that people can't teach you. You've got to learn yourself. Perseverance, and the same as I told Sheldon, the most simple, insulting things, like walking over and just putting your hand and saying hi. That goes in from hi to into a conversation. So perseverance, a bit of a strategy, a bit of a breakdown, and you'll be on your way. If you are struggling after 10 years, then I'll say something's wrong. You need to come to a coach, You need to think about what you're doing, because if you're going out, doing it for this long, you should be able to get motivated yourself. I will say, while you're on the topic, for me personally, I like being on my own doing this stuff. I get the best results. I do get good results if I'm sometimes filming with my friend Danny, or if I'm with friends. But I've get to a point now, maybe it's my age, I'm still kind of young, 30, I like to be self-reliant. Because I've got a side mentality. Obviously, people pay me to work with them to teach them. So outside of that, I work with guys that are amazing, because I don't work with everyone. I work with guys that I know I can help, that are committed. So everyone who's around me, I've got choice of who's around me. So I'm not going to be around someone who's negative. It's going to kill my state. And I'm not going to motivate someone and build them up for them to just shit on me and put their negativity on me. Because I'm already putting out loads of stuff on YouTube. I love doing that. So what I'm saying is, you get a buzz off taking responsibility. It's frightening to start with. But what I always say to guys is, whatever we've done together, when you go on your own, you're going to do a more simplistic version of it. So if you picked up girls with me, if you've gone on dates, if you've got laid, because some of you have, even though when you've got laid, and some of you in this room look at me now, I've worked with you and you've got laid, and I won't call you out, because obviously I won't do that to save you the headache, but even when you've got laid, you've still had to go back to the framework. Now, I'm going to stress simplicity. Muhammad Ali did it, Bruce Lee did it. After every boxing match, I read this and I believe it. Muhammad Ali won a world title. He go in the gym and practice his jab. It's ridiculous, isn't it? The stuff he used to do in the ring, combinations, the speed, he'll go in and just practice the left jab, back to the basics. There's a reason he did that. He knew the importance of the fundamentals. So you can never just start getting laid and say, right, I don't ever have to practice any more stuff than you do, because you'll get rusty. You know, maybe you want to get laid quicker, maybe you want to build a better connection, maybe you want a relationship. So always go back to the fundamentals. Any more questions? Brilliant, you guys are with me, this is solid. I want to talk about another thing, and I've got you guys doing it now. Every one of you in the room is present. I can see it by the way you look at me. You're solid. I've got you engaged. That's what starts happening when you're in a better state. I just go up to a girl, I can ask her where the vending machine is. She's just present with me. So when you get better at state, you become better at being present. Some days I'm not present. I can't be present every minute, but when I get a hot girl in front of me, boom, I'm present. And it almost feels that you're not doing anything. You're just standing there, you're having a chat with her, and she can just feel it. Because your voice tone's better, you're self-amused, you're more easygoing, and you're more rocking around. I'm going to deviate onto something else, another tangent. Body language. Now, I've been kind of monitoring my own body language and seeing the improvements. You know what I find? I find I get better results with women now when I don't just stand there like a robot and talk to them like that. Because that's too regimental. If you're a complete beginner, that's completely fine. Whatever you can do past a compliment is great. Once you get a little bit more advanced, you want to be very flowing, very fluid. You want to walk. How would you with your mate? You wouldn't be inhibited. You wouldn't stand there like that. You wouldn't stand there like that. You wouldn't stand like that. You'd just be flowing. You'd be walking around. You'd be touching them. That's how I talk to women. So I guess in a sense that in the nightclub scene, that's how a lot of guys move. I've taken it onto the street now. And again, I'm always evolving. I'm learning, and you guys are going to evolve at the same pace with me if you watch my stuff and practice it. More movement. If you're in a bad state, body follows the mind, I know it. So if you're negative, you can't really move. You just become, you're stuck. Who feels that sometimes? You're in a bad state, you can't move. You start feeling a bit more self-conscious, am I right? You're talking to people, you're concerned about how you're standing. When you're in a better state, you're like, yeah, so where are you from? How are you doing? You look nice, but you're just boom, 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 and it looks great. It's an art form, and it feels really good. And you can get away with touching them more, you can be more sexual, you can just be more playful, and they feel safe. Now, when people say to me, Johnny, how do you build comfort with a girl? You've got to build comfort with yourself. Johnny, how do you connect with a woman? You've got to connect with yourself. How do you attract a woman? You've got to become attractive. It's not something you do, it's something you become, something you are. You start having a force field around you, and it's amazing. Self-amusement will give you this. I didn't lose topic, see, I came back to the topic. Self-amusement will help you to have better body language, because I do it all the time. Students come to me, and this is one of my biggest tricks I do. If you've taken a course with me, you'll know this. The first thing I usually do is I say, excuse me, go over and I want you to fuck up the approach. I say, go over, and like, really, go and fuck up, go and get rejected, go and screw up. Bad body language, I want bad conversation, I want you to ask a lot of questions, go and talk to her. What happens most times? Put your hands up if you know. No, but what I'm saying is what happens from the outcome. When I tell him to go over and fuck up and have bad body language, does good, does well. Girl starts giggling, laughing her head off. And she's laughing so much, he starts looking at me going, what do I do now? She's going red laughing. I said, get her number. Because it's true. It's all the pressure. So at the same time, I know sometimes it is hard, because when I follow self-help stuff, self-development for other areas of my life, there's so much amazing content, and then I'm like, oh fuck, Like, how do I start and apply this? So, take the pressure off yourself. You shouldn't.
Why are you doing it by doing that in the first place? Because you're actually, once you start seeing her giggling,
Yeah.
you start going to self-amusement.
Yeah. Yeah, but what I meant was, if I tell someone that they've got permission to fail, and I take all the pressure off them, they actually become inhibited, they break the chains away, and the self comes through, and the body language is better. Because let me think about it. If I've got two guys, right, and I say, you're both going to go in the boxing ring for the first time, and the guy you're going to go in the ring with, he's won 6 amateur titles, he's a champion in his area. You can feel the nerves coming already, can't you?
Yeah,
I had this thrown at me when I first started boxing. You've got two guys, they've never boxed before, and I say to one guy, I'm going to put you in the ring, you better keep your hands up because he's going to take your fucking head off, and he's a world champion, he's got a good right hand. His body language, he's going to get tight. He's going to walk in the ring like this. Oh my God, I'm going into battle. If I say to one guy, see this guy, mate, you're going to spar with Floyd Mayweather, but he's not going to hit you back. He's going to keep his hands up, and you can do whatever you want to him. How's his body language going to be? Come on then. You're going to go in the ring. He's up for it, aren't he? Why? There's no risk of, he's been given freedom to make mistakes. No, he can do whatever he wants. So maybe that's a bad analogy. Don't go in and go up to women and try and hit them. Please don't do that. Some guys go out and punch a girl and I get sued for it. So basically what I'm saying is you take the pressure off yourself. So self-amusement state is about taking the pressure off yourself, having fun, giving value, not being inhibited by techniques, not being a prisoner of the methods, the blueprints, the philosophies, even my own philosophy. If I give it to you but you guys are pressured, it won't work. My stuff won't work, it'll be useless. You can throw it in the bin. Because I'll give you all my techniques, I'll tell you every strategy and how I get laid, I'll give you my text game, I'll give you my phone game, I'll tell you exactly what I do when I get the girl back to her house or when I go back to her place in most cases now, being my logistics are a bit out, that's another seminar. So if you're inhibited, if you're pressured, the method will never work. So, I stress my point, I win the debate, I hope we can get a debate on this and we can all agree like the old days in the Greek times. States everything, how you feel is how you perform. So, take away the chains. You've got my permission to fail. You've got to fail in this. I'm a failure. That's why I'm successful. I fail every day. I said it the other week. I want to be careful I'm saying this is on YouTube and I don't want to sound like I'm coming across, too aggressive. But I brought 4 girls back to my house and I slept with 1 out of 4. I'm fucking successful. I don't say 3 rejected me and 1 said yes, they're from less of a man. Of course they didn't. One didn't like me. 1 was not on the terms I was on, but the fucking one I got is the one I'm dating now and she's amazing, she's gorgeous. I was out the other day, someone said, where do you meet her? She's lovely. I go out, I put the work in. You can do the same. I'm not special, I'm very human, but I put these things into practice. So, before I end up with a final thing I'm going to talk to you guys about, are there any questions on the state? I'd love to hear it, please.
Yeah, what's the, well, I mean, I know I was only a part of it, but what's the quickest way to just get yourself into state, just so you feel relaxed and, just ready so that your personality can really come out?
The quickest way?
Yeah.
So when you leave your house?
Yeah,
Opening your mouth and verbalising things, saying stuff out. So, you come out your house, before you approach anything, you say, you know what, today I'm going to get into state, I'm going to try and approach girls, I'm going to do my best. You speak. Speaking gets you in state. When you don't speak, you don't verbalise nothing, you've got the dialogue going in your head and it just tightens you up. The quicker you speak, the quicker you get in state. Make sense? Yeah?
Yeah, makes sense.
So as soon as you come out your house, say hello to the guy at the train station, ask him an extra question. Go into the shop. This has been told before, so I'm getting bored saying it, but I'll say it one more time. Go in Starbucks, order a coffee, give her a compliment. Ask for directions. I don't care what you got to do. Just get in state. Any more questions? This is amazing. It's like it's just a problem solved. No more questions. Yes, David.
State and alcohol, for sure.
Fucking brilliant. Joking. State and alcohol. Well, obviously, the whole point of cold approach is not to drink alcohol. I'm human. I get days when I do it. What was your question, sorry? So, should you mix it?
Yeah, and my experience, if you're already in state and then you have a drink, you don't need a lot, and it enhances it up to
Right.
the point.
Okay, I'm just going to give you my version. Guys can take what you want of it. I think you should only start consuming alcohol when you've got enough amount of success with women sober. So then you know that you're not relying on the alcohol. The alcohol's not a crutch because you've done it sober. So loads of sober game, occasionally have a cheat weekend when you drink some alcohol. Fair enough? I'm not going to say, guys, don't drink here, don't do anything. It's better you don't drink. Of course, don't take any drugs. I'm not advocating any of this stuff. I'm just saying, if you're going to cheat, if you're going to have a bit of wine or a brandy, which I do now and then, I did last night, Go for it. You've been out every day sober. Again, it's about making it comfortable. So, we've learned some stuff. Overview. Getting into state, taking the pressure off yourself, really focusing on behaving the way you want to behave, not modeling yourself off someone else. Simple steps, going out, saying hellos. 10 hellos turn into 10 compliments. 10 compliments turn into conversations. 100 conversations turns into a date. A couple of dates turns into getting laid. So it is a numbers game. It's a numbers game of skill. So no one can say that they can see it with every woman. Don't need that pressure, don't need to. There's plenty out there. Believe you me, once you start getting enough girls on your case, then you'll need to be state. You need some therapy, because women are amazing creatures and they demand a lot of energy from you because they like connecting. I think girls like to connect a lot more than guys do, but that's another story. So, my final questions before we round up.
Just a quick one.
Yeah?
If you find yourself getting into, I don't know, a bit of a bad habit or something, you're just out of state, you've been doing all right, then a few bad ones, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it better to stop at some point than to keep going? Or
That's a good point. Yeah, I think you should stop sometimes. I think that's because what you just said there. If you've had a really good run, you've got on a high, and then you hit that ice, but you start going down, have a break, stop. Stop and go home and just, be happy with a good reference. Again, don't every one of you go out and say, well, Johnny Berba said to me, if it's going well, quit. I didn't say that. I didn't say that on camera. I just said if you're going really well and then you're starting to hit a plateau, you're going down, have a day off. Because you've took action, you've done well, definitely. It's like going in the gym, you're training your arms and you get that burn. And if you stay too long, you start burning out. You can't get the pump again. Anyone who goes to gym knows that. I ain't been in for ages, by the way. It's just a long time ago. So you have to have a break. You have to rest to grow your muscle for the next day. So yeah. Any more questions? I like it, guys. Keep it coming. Last one.
Is there any books you recommend to help with?
I'm going to be honest, I said it in my last talk, I'm not that much of a well-read person, but the books I've heard are good are The Power of Now, I don't know, like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, The Game, that was a joke, no offence. I don't know, anything. It's just, go on Google. Google knows better than me. I'd say reading would help you, but I don't get too much theory. So let me be a little bit of a gesture, a joker. Stop reading books, go out and create your own books. You get your own theory. One approach is one ebook. One lay, one date is 1,000 ebooks. So be well read, but practice. So if you're reading 5 books, you should be doing, 50 hours of approaching. Because the book's theory, what can you do with theory? Talk all day. Thank you guys for coming.